Hi and welcome to Tiffany's Tiny Things. Today's project is very special to me, and if you've seen my other videos, you might have noticed I really like Tim Burton movies. And Beetlejuice is really one of my favorites. So I'm actually dividing this into two videos because it became so massive and nobody wants a 1.5 hour long video. So we'll start with the Beetlejuice miniature diorama display area. I'll be making Beetlejuice's graveyard with the tombstone, the blinking sign, and a sandworm. So in my second video, I'll make the Beetlejuice doll. So let's get started. So I kind of felt I need to do some rough sketches of how big everything is going to be, because I can't do it exactly to scale as it is in the movie, because the tombstone, if you watch it, it's kind of even bigger than the people. I think I will make it a little bit smaller, because if I make it bigger than this doll, it will be like humongous. So I would like to be able to fit this display somewhere. So yeah. So my thought is that the doll will be a little bit in front and it's gonna be kind of a hill. So the tombstone will be kind of behind her like this, and the sign will also be up on the hill, kind of besides the tombstone like that, and she will be somewhere here, I think. A very rough idea of how this is going to be. The sign I will try to make out of cardboard, I think, and the front needs to be some kind of plastic, and I'm gonna print the words. Yeah, I haven't figured it out yet. But you know, I think tombstone will be the hardest, because I want to make it out of this air dry stone clay. At the same time want the words to be glowing red. So yeah, let's get started making a rod for this sign with the lights inside. How do I even know how much I need there and then how much I need from the other end? I just guess, I guess. I'm scared. How do people do this? Where's the tape? How the... Forget everything you saw before with the cardboard roll. I just had this epiphany that what if I take the paper straw that I had in mind from the first time and just slit across and put the wire inside, and it actually worked. So, and I didn't really think that it would work, so that's why I didn't film it. So yeah, here we go. It worked. I'm guessing when I seal this, it won't be so easy to open up again and shift it, so I kind of have to stick with it. So yeah. This is just to keep the structure together, keep the wire from popping out, you know, because it is a very snug fit. So as you see, it's not perfectly smooth. It's better than it was before, but I'll probably cover it with some type of clay. I haven't kind of decided what kind yet, so I'll get to that. So I made a rod. Fun. And off camera I also cut out the sign plastic. Maybe it's not obvious what I'm gonna do with this right now, but it will become clear soon. So I'm just gonna build a box for the sign, because it's gonna be kind of a thin box. Glue that together and you'll see what happens. I took some cardstock, cut out the back and the front of the sign. So this is gonna be the back, this is gonna be the front, and as you see, I measured out where I'm gonna drill the holes for the lights. Then we're going to put this plastic behind. I am going to color this yellow somehow. I haven't figured that out yet. And you know, write Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice on it. But we'll start making the box parts here and test if it's even possible of drilling the holes. So yeah. Dremel. Yeah. There we go. I think that turned out like exactly as I wanted. I'm glad I did the front from above because you see as the back side it's pretty whatever. So yeah, this is the front. Now we're going to cut out the sides all around and also the arrow. And the arrow will get the same treatment. I will drill some holes. So yeah. Now I have cut out all of the sides. Just have to glue them on there like this. But before I do that, we are going to make the arrow as well, because you can't just put the arrow on there because there's light coming out of the arrow too. So it has to be a cutout in the bottom and the top part of the box so that the lights can come through. So yeah, I'm just gonna measure this arrow and cut that out as well. So finally, like hours later, you won't believe how long this took. I think it took like 4 hours cutting all these pieces and, you know, measuring and everything, and also cutting the plastic parts. Yeah, before I glue all these parts together, I need to paint plastic and glue that on the panels that are going to glow with the holes, you know. First I need to sand them with the sanding paper so that they aren't completely see-through. I want them to be like misty. So let's do that. And it also helps for the paint to adhere to the plastic, you know. I am going to mix some acrylics with matte Mod Podge, and hopefully that will look okay. And my arm is so tired from all the cutting. I mixed some Mod Podge with some yellow acrylics. Yeah, and hopefully it won't look like shit. I'm just trying to spread it out as evenly as humanly possible. On the arrows, it's not that important because you only will see the dots. It's like each picture I look at from the movie, it looks a little bit different. So I don't know, did they use different signs? I don't think so. Why would they? So we'll just let that dry and we'll see, maybe one more layer. So, the arrow parts I think turned out great. I can hardly see even the lines of the brush strokes, and you know, even if it would have been visible, it won't. And I realized something with the big one, that the lettering, the Beetlejuice lettering, I should have put on before I painted this. Write it on the back side and then paint it. So, yeah. So far, only one mistake. I have to do the sanding all over and stuff, but it's okay. It's okay. So I decided that it's probably a good idea to paint these parts before I put them together because of some hard to reach places. I'm gonna prime them first with white. It's very difficult to see in the pictures exactly the color. I mean, it's red, and I just now saw that some of the bulbs in the frame are red, so we have to fix that later. I'm gonna show you, I figured out a really cool thing. You know the part that I said it wasn't good and well, you know, so I cut out another, and then I realized, but we diffuse it even more if I put it, if it's double. So the letters will be on this, then this will be behind. I figured out the red bulb situation also because I can just on the back side of this paint a little bit of red on the bulbs that are afflicted. And I'll probably need maybe some little spacing between these to diffuse it even more. And then I realized maybe I should paint the inside of the box also. Let's start priming these babies. Now I'll just let this dry for a bit and then we paint it red. It's not like really like chalk white, but I think that it's alright. Yeah, let that dry and then continue painting. So I just wanted to show you what I did more to the straw or pole for the sign. As you saw before, I put the lights in and then I decided, well, I need to smooth out the surface because it's supposed to look like a pole. I wrapped a piece of paper around it and just glued it on, and then I also put some wires like anchors in the ends. I think it will help hold the sign and the bottom a little bit. But then I looked closely at the pictures of the sign and it's actually not very straight and not very perfect. It's like a really bent pole. Yeah, I made it too perfect. But never mind, I'm gonna paint it like rusty and stuff, so it will be fine. Okay? It will be fine. I'm not gonna do it again because now I glued everything. I put glue in each end to secure the wires. Just regular glue. Now let's paint these red. So we're just gonna put on some primary red with a little dab of brown in it. I could probably use a bigger brush than this. Second layer, I switched to this carmine red because I just felt like it. So while the parts are drying before I'm gonna glue them together, I'm gonna go ahead and draw on the lettering. As you see, I printed out a number of different sizes because I don't know why, but in my program it doesn't come out the format that I have chosen. So this is a stupid way of doing it. So now I'm just gonna fill in with this pigment liner that is waterproof, so I hope that this will stick. Now we'll let that dry and see how it looks after that, if we need to fix it or something. We'll see when I test it in front of some lights. So as you see, I have glued together the backside with the sides. So I have this little box that I can prep for the lights. And I also realized I need to paint the inside, but should I paint it yellow or red? I've decided for red because I think that would be nice. The arrow parts, they are glued as well and painted inside. Really just waiting for these parts to be glued on as well. So we set that aside forever to dry. I kind of want to go over it again because it's not really opaque, so oh well. And as you see, I also realized, oh, I need a hole for the lights to come in, because here's the hole for the arrow and this is for the lights. Otherwise, how would we get them in there? Let's paint this. I'm actually surprised of how well the all the pieces went together. So yeah, we'll let that dry. Still kind of figuring out the back piece with the lines. I wonder if it's a good or bad idea to spray this with like Mr. Super Clear. It might dissolve it. Moments like this, it's always a good idea to try on something else. Like I draw with this on something else and then I spray it with Mr. Super Clear and we'll see what happens. Because if I ruin this, I won't be happy. Be right back. Now we come to the tricky part where I'm going to glue this rod into the sign. It's not just straight in like this, it's kind of tilted. Not too much. This. Thinking I'm gonna use some super glue. Okay guys, we are so close to the finish line. This took so much longer, like 2 full days, but It's gonna be so awesome. As you see, I have glued the pole into the sign. Then I just glued these arrow parts onto the box. And then I realized, because, you know, I'm not an engineer, that I actually made the arrow parts narrower. I don't know why. It was like a decision I took at some point. But what happens then? Well, you get like gaps that I now have filled with cardboard and just painted them, and you won't even notice them. If you're gonna use my template for this, bear this in mind. It's not perfect, but I think this will look great. What we have left is, as you see, I've glued this plastic onto the frame, and I also painted some of the bulbs red. So hopefully they will be red when it glows. And if it's not like a lot, it's fine. This is where the engineering stopped again. And I realized, no, I can't have a distance between these, because then they will be like a bit out from the sign itself. And as it is now, it will be anyway. So yeah, there won't be any distance. I'm gonna glue this onto this, and then we're gonna seal the deal. You can't really move it around once you put it in place. Just put some weight on that. Perfect. Let's do it. Nobody remembers a coward, I guess. Now the sign is done. Can't believe it. It's like in the middle of the night. I've tried it with the lights, and I think you need to wait till the end of the video to see the final glory with the lights and everything, but it looks awesome. I mean, I'm so proud of myself. Paint it some more and age it and make it look like the sign in the movie. I'm done for tonight. You don't know what time it is for me. It looks like a real sign. It's insane. Now we move on. So for his tombstone, I decided that I'm gonna try and have a base out of styrofoam, just to get some general idea of the size. I just act like I know what I'm doing, so yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of just winging it. I glued some styrofoam onto this cardboard, so I have a base, because that just occurred to me that maybe I should have that. Now my plan is kind of to shape this into some kind of hill. Tombstone back here and a sign here or something like that. Okay. Good, it's a hole here. It's like it's made for it. That's kind of perfect. Yeah. Now I have cut out the basic shape of the hill, and I have vacuumed all the little styrofoam pieces. I have a vague idea of this tombstone, so the battery pack will be, you know, I guess I could have put it there also. Never mind. The battery will be on the back side here, and the lights will come from the front of the sign and up here. I have cut out the plastic piece that will be the same principle as with the sign. I will sand this, paint it red this time because it's a red glow. It will be in front of the lights. So once again, this super fun task of tracing the letters. So enjoy, I guess. Now we just let that dry. After that we can paint the backside red. So yeah, while we wait for that, I've already started a little bit of encapsulating in tin foil here. It is kind of important that you can remove this later, so I don't know, I just covered this with tape because that felt right. And I'll guess when the time comes now to put on the clay, I will kind of make a frame. I've never done this, but you know, probably have to adjust the lights later. Now I was just kind of testing the positions here. Now the real question is, do I glue it on here, then cover the rest with foil, or I'll glue it first. Okay, let's start up the heat gun. Heat gun? The glue gun. I can't talk. The heated glue gun. I think I'm happy with the positioning here. You see, I'll put this there. I mean, we have passed the point where I will ever be able to remove these lights, so I just do the best of it. I would like to be able to change the batteries. I think this will be good. I'm happy with that. I put some hot glue on the sign as well. Yeah, make it sturdy. I was like, where is the foil? There's the foil. Here it is. We need to have a hole for the doll stand. I guess we have to take this decision now. Ah! What would you have done? What would you have done? Let's say she stands here. I kinda want to take this decision later because of reasons, you know. I can probably make a hole later, right? I'm not gonna use this entire bit, just the acrylic rod. Don't touch the glue. My only anxiety thing right now is the little gargoyles on the headstone. We'll cross that hurdle when we get there, I guess. That's a future me problem. It'll be something. It will be something. I'm going to use this air drying stone effect modeling clay. 3 reasons. It's stone effect. It's air drying. Number 3, it's very cheap. This will probably be kind of difficult to work with, but we'll see. I don't know. Okay, let's take a little break from sculpting and let's paint the back of this. Now we have to wait for that to dry because, as I said, I want to glue it in place here and then sculpt over it. Yeah! So now the sheet is dry enough. I think it will look good, so I'm just gonna bake it in with clay. Well, looks good, but I wouldn't recommend anyone doing this. this because it was really hard. Carving out the letters, oh my god. And it's still not good, I will have to smooth it out, but it's something. Top one kind of looks like a evil Yoda right now, but trust the process. Oh, well, I think I'm done with the gargoyles. I'm not completely happy with the lettering. I will try to carve it out a little bit more now that it's a bit more dry. But yeah, I took some liberties with the skeletons and gargoyles, but I think it's close enough. I think it's good. Oh my god, it wasn't easy. So now the clay has dried, at least on the surface, so it's okay to start painting. And I'm gonna start with the pole. If I've learned something about watching a lot of YouTubers doing miniatures, I have learned that 1, you need to do a wash, a black wash. And number 2, you need to dry brush. So I'm gonna try that. If you wonder why it looks so weird here, I tried to kind of scrape out bits and pieces because it wasn't clear, and then some of the lettering, you know, they just came off, so I had to glue those little pieces back, and then I just covered it with watered down matte Mod Podge. Hopefully it will look good when it's dry. I don't know, but I thought if I do that, maybe it will stay put. Let's get started. Does it look good? I don't know. I think it looks good. Thinking about doing the same treatment on the stone, you know? I really enjoy watching others do like miniature stuff, like buildings and sculptures and things. So yeah, maybe I will wander into that. It's kind of fun doing this. Studson Studios and North of the Border and Mini Bricks. There are so many talented. That was just the top of my head. Yeah, so if you have any tips of talented people doing stuff, please let me know. I don't know how great it is to get alcohol into the battery pack, so I will try to avoid that. Wow, this Mod Podge really takes forever to dry. I might have to bust out the hairdryer. So, while that dries a little bit more, you see I have put on some black wash on the pole here, and I accidentally put some silver on this, and I thought, wow, that looks pretty neat. I'm gonna put some rust on it. Yeah, that looks cool. My desk is too small for projects like this. I need a bigger desk. Yeah, so for this I'll try just not completely white. I have a mist of black in it, so it's a very light gray, you could say. So yeah, I feel like the painting is done on these. I don't want to overwork it, so I really like how it looks now. The sign is like worn and rusty and stuff. And as you see, it kind of looks weird down here. Yeah, because we're gonna put some fake grass here. So I bought these, and it's not exactly the same, but looks fake enough. So I think this felt, that this will be the easiest to apply, maybe. After my sister pointed out that the felt grass looked like crap, she insisted that I buy some more movie accurate grass. I ordered it, I got it home, and yeah, it's still not movie accurate at all. I don't know, 1% better than the felt. So at least it's some fibers. Let's do this. And instantly putting some glue where I don't want it, but you know. This is why I really don't like hot glue, because very often it just doesn't work out. Why are you like this? These tiny little fibers really gets into under your skin. So let's drill a hole for the stand that I've chosen this clear stand because reasons. Of course I broke the stand because what else would I do? Still have the pole, and I do have... So I have to figure something out, okay? Ah! Let's do some damage. It's okay. Ah, it's perfect. Wow. So now I'm just gonna put some hot glue in there and push it down. Ready with the stick. And just push it down. I guess that will hold, you know. I kind of fixed the... It's functional. I put some wire around it and some hot glue, and it functions. I probably won't use this one. Yeah, just so you get an idea of how it works. So it works. And she stands there. See? Brilliantly. Now I can start sculpting the sandworm. Sand snake. Snake. Sandworm. Ah. Now we have arrived to the point where we are going to sculpt the sandworm snake thing. We're going to start with doing a base out of aluminum foil because we don't want the air drying clay to be too thick, because then it will crack, and you know. Yeah, let's waste some foil. No, it's not going to be a swan, but you know. And it's good to have reference pictures. I am looking at that. I actually didn't find any great pictures, but I found some really nice recreated sandworms from other artists. So Now you get a sneak peek here, but you know, it's not the same as seeing the whole thing. At the same time, I don't want it to block too much of the tombstone, so we kind of need it to come out from the base. This will be tricky, but I think the height is okay. It will be a little bit taller. This is a start. So it's time to start gluing the snake base onto the platform. And as you see, I covered the grass with some plastic wrap. I think that will be enough. So yeah, I think I'll start at the tail end. Now it's glued in place and we can just start sculpting. You can apply water and then it softens again. But you can't like apply clay on an area and then think you can go back and fix it later. You can only fix it by applying more clay. I think my 19-year-old cat is starting to lose her mind. Now the first layer is done. If you want to adjust some positions, now is the time, because when it dries, you're screwed. I think that's good. If you want it to dry completely, you have to wait at least 24 hours, and I don't got patience for that. This project, as you may understand, is my biggest one yet, and I was ready for it to take a lot of time, but that doesn't mean we have to do it longer than necessary, so yeah. I realized I kind of have to sculpt the teeth. The easiest way to do this is to use polymer clay and make a bunch of teeth and then bake them in the oven, so that we later on can put them in the mouth. So as you see, I haven't sculpted more because I want the teeth to be ready and baked before, so when I have the wet clay here, I can just push them in. I've seen some creators who pushed them in and then let it dry and then pulled all the teeth out so they could paint it first and then, you know, all this. I don't know, guys. They aren't perfectly white. I have white clay, but I didn't want to open a brand new package just for some teeth, so this is kind of a grayish tone, so I have to paint them anyway. That was an unnecessary ramble, but that's the way it is. I'm just gonna sculpt like a million of these. Very fun. Yeah, I just kind of take a little ball, roll it. There you have a tooth. So by my calculations, I have now made 70 teeth. I think about 40 for the inner head, 30 for the outer, but maybe less. So I sculpted a tongue just for safety later. I also put a wire here I will probably have to make like a hole in the back of the mouth so I can push this in, but I feel like maybe we need that to keep the tongue in place later. Now we just hope that it doesn't get flat on the other side. I don't think so. I'm just gonna preheat the oven and pop them in. Now I have baked the teeth, a bowl full of teeth here, and the tongue. And I started to paint the tongue. So I started with one layer of white, and now I continue with doing the black stripes. So I'm gonna let that dry, and I'm gonna do one more layer of the black. I will probably take a smaller brush because this one's too big. This lid is good. There. Oh, these teeth. I have put in some glass eyes. I think I'll start with the boring part of smoothing out the body. Well, there. Very good angle for you. So now I have the tongue. There. We are going to start with the gums. My plan is that I'm just gonna make like a wormy dealie and just place it. Oh, please be enough now. Or all these teeth were in vain. It's the next day and it's time to paint. I super glued all the teeth. It was a couple that was a bit loose. I decided to just super glue them straight away. I'm gonna start with the most difficult parts, the mouth, I think. So I mixed this pink with a little bit of white, a little bit of red, a little bit of yellow to get this kind of not so bright pink. You want to know an amazing thing? That I actually mixed enough paint. That's a first. So while I wait for the teeth to dry a little, I'll go ahead and paint the eyes. This eye is yellow with a red pupil. And this is yellow with a red pupil. No. What? This is yellow with red inside. And this is red with yellow inside. Maybe now I can do the stripes on the outer teeth. This will be hard. But my plan is to take a very thin brush, and that's my whole plan. I don't know why I thought this sandworm would be kind of a fast and easy thing. But you know, the more you look at something, the more details you see. I don't know how I messed this up. I just wanted the eyes to be a white stripe. I shrink. I think I'll remove this plastic now because it's kind of just in the way. Oh, come on. I think I glued it. Why do I... So now I painted all the stripes. As you see, I started to paint the eyes. Well, actually the red eyes are kind of done because it's just a yellow dot in the middle, but the yellow eyes are black outline with red inside. Well, you will see. I'm just gonna let that dry. Then I'm gonna paint the lips with this teal color, and then what remains is kind of dirtying the whole thing up because we want it to look like a living being. So he needs to be a little bit dirty. So it's time for some alcoholic wash. I just mixed some paint, acrylic paint, with some 75% alcohol. As you see, I'm quite generous with this alcohol wash, and right now it looks a bit scary. It looks too much, but it fades, so it's okay. There, I'm quite happy with that black wash. Well, it was actually brown and black alcoholic wash, and yeah, I think I'm happy like this. It looks a lot scarier now. So I'm just gonna let this dry a little bit, then I'm gonna gloss the inside of the mouth. I haven't forgot about the tongue yet. I really hope I can get it in there. I haven't tried it, so it's like epic fail if I can't. But, you know, yeah, just glossing the mouth and the eyes, of course, needs to have some gloss. Then I think I will cover the body with some matte Mod Podge just to, you know, keep it safe. No, but kind of like a protective layer, because this is on the outside of the display. So I didn't put anything on the sign or the tombstone, but I felt like the tombstone really needs to look like stone, so I didn't want to put any kind of varnish on it. I think the sign is fine. So I'm just gonna let this dry for a little while and then do the glossing. So yeah, the Mod Podge dries fairly quickly, so now he's almost completely dry, so let's do the glossing. I think I'll start from inside and out. I've glossed it 2 times. I'm gonna let this dry a bit and see if I want one more layer. It's probably good. When it's dry, we are ready for the beauty shots of this Beetlejuice display. And if you want to see the whole display with the Beetlejuice doll, just wait for the next video where I'll show you how to make the doll. In the end of that video, the whole display with the doll. As you probably understand, this was such a big project. I decided to put it in 2 different videos. Some of you might just want to see the display and not the doll, so I thought this was a good idea. So the other video, the link will be in the description down below. Yeah, happy that you joined me for this journey. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and push the bell button so you don't miss my next video. And if you really want to support my channel, you can become my Patreon. The link is in the description box down below. Thank you so much for watching, and also in my next video there will be a big giveaway, so don't miss out. See you next time. Bye!